What's up, everybody? Welcome to 3D Rivals, the podcast where we talk about movies and comics and everything in between. My name is Darren, aka DJ, and I'm joined by my two siblings, my brother Derek.
What's up, everybody?
And my sister,
Deborah.
Is this the second time you've been Deborah?
It is. I was hoping it was a long enough in between that you wouldn't notice.
Oh, I did.
Okay. Also, and I just thought of it because I forgot to come up with a name.
You didn't come up with a name.
I forgot. I am unprepared this week.
Wow.
Yes.
Sad.
It is.
Mm-hmm. Hashtag sad. I was going to do a voice, but I'm going to leave that alone. All right, guys. This week we are talking about Dark Phoenix. This is a movie that came out this past weekend. It is the end to the 20 years of the X-Men movie universe. It's movie number 12 or 11, something like that.
I believe it's 12.
Yeah, number 12. So we'll see how it fared. So we're going to do our movie review on Dark Phoenix. First, we'll go around. Derek, overall, how did you feel about the movie?
It was a waste of $10 and some change.
Okay. You could have done something better with the $10.
I could have. I mean, it was bad. Like, I was waiting for the movie to be over. Like, seriously, ooh. I was waiting for it to be over.
That's funny. That is what I usually say about movies.
Yeah, that is true. You do say that.
you do say that a lot. Yeah, and it was only 10 of us in the theater. So
yeah, your theater was empty.
Yeah.
So it seems like not a lot of people watched it. Deborah, what did you feel about?
I'm gonna say it was okay.
Okay.
I would give it a 6 out of 10. I feel like I didn't hate it as much as Derek did, but probably because I felt like it was better than I thought it was going to be. Not saying that it was good. It just wasn't the flaming pile of trash I thought. Okay.
All right. Well, I also thought it was a waste, and I could have bought a couple of quarter pounders with cheese instead. Well, it was a waste of money. And honestly, kind of the opposite of what Derek said. I wasn't waiting for it to be over, but by the time Act 3 started, I was like, that was it? You know? Like, that was my feeling, like this. So that was the movie. Okay. It wasn't good.
They kind of resolved all of their problems really fast with, like, no repercussions or nothing.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And of course, we're going to get into it. But, you know, it just should, as the last movie, it should have been better. And of course, you know, they had to do the Dark Phoenix saga again.
Did they though?
Yeah, no, they didn't.
I mean, X-Men has so many storylines.
A lot. Well, I guess we should be glad they saved them for Marvel to do. So
true. Now
Marvel has something to do, even though Dark Phoenix was one of the biggest storylines, and they've kind of taken that away from us twice. So we should be, at least we should be glad they haven't wasted all the storylines. They did do Days of Future Past already too.
And Apocalypse. Oh
God, never mind. They've taken everything. I take this back.
Only thing that was decent was Days of Future Past.
Well, First Class was a pretty good movie too. I mean, I know, Deborah, you hate First Class.
I mean, it was a good movie, but you know what I hate about it.
Well, none of these movies follow the comic book. None of them do. Zero. Absolutely none.
I'm not even saying, like, I can't say follow the comic book because I don't read comic books.
Yeah.
But I just feel like Days of Future Past was like, hey, what if we had Mystique and Havoc and all of these random people? And I'm just like, what y'all doing?
Oh,
I think their approach was try to, like, bring out more of the characters that wasn't that big.
Which
in the original X-Men movie.
Understand. But I feel like, I don't know, Mystique and Professor X weren't friends. So if you wanted to focus on her, you could have focused on her career element of her story, which wasn't really, you know, developed in the past movies.
Right.
Yeah, but you can't have X-Men without Professor X, though.
I'm not saying I have Professor X. I'm saying have them making them childhood friends was just stupid to me. And then at the end of the day, it meant nothing.
It didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's been hit or miss for a while, and then this one, Apocalypse, was just abysmal, and then this one, people are saying it's worse than it's the worst movie. I don't think it's the worst movie in the franchise, but it's definitely not good.
It's better than Apocalypse, and it's better than Last Stand.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But it's not good.
No.
It's not good at all. And I guess we'll start non-spoilers so we can go over the movie and the problems we thought about it. I thought it was boring.
Yeah.
Like it was just
definitely boring.
Yeah, uninteresting. Like nothing interesting was going on.
Yeah, I feel like to me, I don't know. For me, it seemed like a loss of connection with the characters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was like, okay, she gained this Dark Phoenix power, which always seemed to me just seemed kind of like, you know. Mm-hmm. I guess at least the way they did it, and even like how Cyclops was reacting, it just none of it felt real.
It didn't feel genuine. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, the only like good actors you have, Michael Fassbender.
And I am so like watching it, even like the scenes with him, I was like, this was such a waste of a good Magneto.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I wish he was going to be the Magneto in the Marvel universe because he is perfect. He plays this role good.
Yeah,
he's still young enough.
I don't know, you know, Disney ain't going to use him.
But because I mean, watching it and watching the scenes, I was like, man, he is the perfect Magneto.
Yeah.
You know, and I just feel like such a waste that they wasted people like him. They wasted Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, we got some good stuff out of Hugh Jackman, and I think
Hugh Jackman. I don't know if we got good movies.
They ended Wolverine on Logan, and
Logan was good.
Yeah, so.
But I mean, how long did it take to get to that point?
True.
Yeah, because
Wolverine
Origins,
the Wolverine, like.
The Wolverine had good parts in it, though.
Yeah, it was okay.
I Wikipedia the storyline. I was like, oh, this is how they should have did it.
Yeah,
it's not how they did it though.
So that I don't know if it was the director or the actors, but like they were just delivering their line. It was like, and so Deborah, this is how we should. And I'm like, what is going on?
The conflict between the characters, just even when it's like Mystique is like she wants to leave. It just sounded like okay,
why?
Bye.
And Professor X seemed to have like a drinking problem in this for some reason.
I guess they were leading up to the drinking problem he had. Did he have a drinking problem in Days of Future Past? Didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
So that maybe that was that leading up to.
Okay.
Oh no! Wait. This
is after Days of Future Past.
Okay, yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. Well, I feel like they wanted him to be the villain when it was like the entire time I'm sitting there, I'm like, none of this is his fault.
No, yeah, they were trying to do that. I mean, he did do a bad thing, and we'll get to that. Just like in X3,
but at least X3 was something like, okay, you did this and you screwed it up. Yeah. This was like okay, that's wrong. Don't mess with people's heads, but he is not the reason why all of this stuff is going down.
No, and they were saying that he was,
and they were really trying to pin this on him, and I'm just like, why?
And then, like you said, the resolution was kind of nothing.
The whole thing, it was like, oh, we hate her. No, we don't.
Yeah, and then talking about villains, there are villains in this movie.
Right.
Can I say worst villains ever? This is how bad it is. I don't even know what the villain's name is. I don't remember what her name was. This is Jessica Chastain's character.
I don't know. They're from the Debris or the Debris power, or they wanted to get the Debris power, or the planet was Debris, or the solar system is Debris.
Is that what they said?
Something like that.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, she said it. That's not her name. But that's like the overall.
Yeah.
And I know that's definitely true because after Go ahead.
And my thing is like, you know, in movies, like when they establish the villain, you feel a certain way about the villain, like, okay, this guy needs to be stopped. Yeah. Or it's just like, he's tripping. It shouldn't be this serious that he's taking it. Mm-hmm. But it's just like throughout the movie, it's like the whole time, it's like I knew that they were the villain of them of what their objective was, but I'm like, they didn't establish them.
No.
Yeah, like what was their motivation? I didn't even, and I know they had mentioned some stuff, but it was
to get
so,
the power because I think their planet got destroyed.
yeah. But then it got contradicted later on, and I'm going to talk about that in spoilers. But like they mentioned a motivation,
I didn't want to spoil anything,
and then they contradicted it, and I'm like, I don't even know what these people are doing. They're just there.
The aliens. I think last week you asked like when they're supposed to be scrolls. I think people assumed scrolls because they were shape shifting aliens. So that's what they were supposed to be.
I think they were originally supposed to be Skrulls, and they decided not to do it because Marvel was going to.
Okay. Either way, it doesn't matter what they were supposed to be. They felt so random in this movie.
They were very random.
It was very random.
Yeah.
So the story was horrible. So acting bad, story horrible, villains forgettable. It's just Jennifer Lawrence. Just stop. God, this was her worst performance yet. Like, horrible.
It's like you can't even, that's what I'm saying. It's like you can't even buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I kind of feel like, even like, if I can go in it as like a blind action movie, it wasn't even a good one of those.
Yeah, the action scenes weren't interesting. They were very uninteresting.
Yeah.
And people making stupid decisions. Since when did the X-Men not care about like casualties? Like this one fight scene, they're like just shooting cars and stuff, not caring about what happens to anybody around them.
And why did it take them so long to get across the street? How wide are the streets in New York City? I mean, I'm like, is it a lake?
It did take a while to get to that building.
I'm like, it's 4 lanes.
That was a stupid action scene. It was dumb.
It was so random. I'm like, dude, like, just walk.
Was there an action scene before then?
Outside of her family home.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that wasn't good either.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Although,
and about the subway train, there were people on the train. What happened to the people?
don't worry about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to the subway train later too, because that didn't make sense.
Although the ending train scene, I thought was like, okay. It was surprisingly not the worst part of the movie.
It wasn't the worst part of the movie.
It was the best part of the movie.
I want to say it was the best part of the movie.
It was the best part of the movie.
Guys, remember, the bar's not that high. If this was a Marvel movie, the train scene would have been the worst part of the movie. It's not, like, it's the best part of a movie that, like, that's like saying...
It's horrible.
Like, that's like you getting a couch off the street and saying like, oh, the best part is the pillows because this one isn't infested with roaches or something. I don't know. Like, it doesn't mean it's good.
You stressed it with that one, but
I don't care. The bar's not that high.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, okay. It would have been better if they ended in space, but I don't.
Think so?
You know what? Honestly, I don't know because I think they changed it because they didn't know how to do it.
I was about to say I don't know how that fight would have been.
Right, I was like the entire time I was like, I don't know how does this end in space?
Well, they said that the director came out and said that it was also similar not only to Captain Marvel but to Civil War. And I'm like, how?
Did they go to? They didn't go to. They didn't.
No, it's Civil War with Iron Man, Captain America, and Bucky fighting
in the mountain.
Yeah.
How's that similar to a fight in space?
Well, not location, but apparently there are going to be people fighting.
Oh, like both people trying to hit Dark Phoenix or something like that?
I don't know.
Unless one of the mutants have a shield.
Yeah,
or
that's
a robotic
like, was it
arm.
that similar? Like, just because they're heroes fighting each other doesn't mean...
Each other.
You know...
Yeah. Okay, whatever.
I think it was supposed to be Cyclops, Phoenix, and the villain. Which I'm going to keep saying the villain because I don't know where her name is.
I don't know what her name was.
No one knows what her name is.
Nope.
Excellent.
I can Google that. Why we're
no, you know, I don't even want to know. I don't want to know now. If the movie couldn't make it memorable enough for me, it's not worth knowing. So yeah, it's bad. And then apparently after the Civil War like one, they said it was like the end of Captain Marvel, which I don't like. So did she fly up and blow up a bunch of spaceships? No one was gonna care if it was the same.
That must have been what it was.
Yeah, she probably flew up as the Phoenix and blew up a bunch of spaceships.
Yeah.
Because more of the aliens was going to come to the Earth?
I don't know.
I don't know. I thought they were all dead. Like, I thought when they came to Earth, that they were the last of their people.
Well, we'll get. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
Doesn't make
sense. I don't know.
sense.
They didn't explain that, so we don't know.
The one good thing was I think they did do a good job of showing how powerful Phoenix was. At least,
yes.
I mean, they did show that. That was pretty good.
And I do like where they had her embrace it, because that's how it is in the comic books. Because like in Last Stand, they just focused on it. Oh, it's being so bad, we have to get rid of it. But in the comic books, once she gets the Phoenix power, she keeps it.
Yeah, she's the Phoenix in the comics. Yeah,
in the comic, and she learns how to control it.
Yeah, they did do that. I mean, that would hold some weight if there was something after this movie, but there isn't. So I guess it doesn't matter. And then, they give her the Phoenix Force in this movie, right? Are we forgetting that Apocalypse ended with her having some super fire powers and stuff? Are we forgetting that?
Right, that's how she ended that fight, right?
Yeah.
And it's like,
she was already becoming the Phoenix in there, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh no, people don't want that. They want her to get it from space.
I thought that was strange, because I thought they were hitting at like how X2 ended.
Yeah.
Of her having this... Man, those movies end the same.
Yes, they do.
And like how X2...
I didn't pay attention to it until y'all just said it.
It was like, where does extra power come from? Age of Apocalypse ended the same way.
Yeah, and people were getting upset again because it's not supposed to be a dormant power like within her.
Right, she gains the power from the Shi'ar.
Whatever, it's an alien thing that gives her power.
And that's what I was That's what I was thinking, that maybe that's what the alien people would be.
But they weren't.
No, they were. I was thinking they might be
those alien people do show up in the comic. I did Wikipedia the comic book. It's really long, and I was like, ugh. This series took like a year to resolve. More than that, I think. Too long.
That's why you can't do it in one movie.
True. So those people do show up, but they're not the main people in the comic book.
Like, imagine if Marvel did this whole Infinity Saga in one movie.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, off topic. I do have a Marvel rumor.
Oh.
Okay. I just remembered.
A Marvel rumor?
Yes.
Okay. We'll look at it.
Yep.
Yeah, but a couple of good things. Like, her scenes with Magneto, I thought were good.
Which ones? Like, when she first landed on that island? That felt very random to me.
Well, yeah, it was random. Also, in spoilers, I'll get to it, I guess.
Yeah.
But some people came after her, and I'm like, how did they know she was there?
Yeah. And then I felt like he's like, you can go now. And she's like, you're supposed to protect people. And I'm like, girl, you just went super cray over here.
She would cray for no reason.
For no reason.
Yeah.
And then it's like, are you not going to protect me? He like, no.
No. You can go.
But let's talk about Michael Fassbender acting like, he's supposed to be trying to hold down this helicopter. And he's not really doing anything in real life. But he really made you feel like he was trying to hold this helicopter with his powers.
Maybe they gave him 80-pound weights or something. Like, hold this.
But I thought that was pretty good showing the contrast between their powers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because Magneto is one of the strongest mutants out there. And she just easily was like, yeah, nah.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Other than that, nothing else is good. We're going to move on to spoilers, but before we'll give our verdicts. Deborah gave her 6 out of 10.
I gave it a 6 out of 10.
I'm giving it a 5 out of 10.
I'm giving it a 5 out of 10.
Yeah. So,
right.
Bad movie. Usually, in a lot of other movies I've reviewed on this podcast, I would say, hey, you know what? Go see it and make your own opinion, blah, 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 whatever. Don't go see this movie. Don't even waste your time. It's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. Last week I said Godzilla. If you're a Godzilla fan, go watch it. If not, don't watch it. This one, it don't even matter. If you're an X-Men fan, not an X-Men fan, don't watch it.
Save your money.
Save your money.
Save your money.
Yeah. So no. Yeah. 5 out of 10. Bad. Spoilers.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
All right. I mean, there's not really much extra. Okay, I'm gonna go with a super spoiler. Mystique dies, and no one cares.
I did not feel that at all.
Like it was
I
just
was like, okay,
whatever.
Mystique is dead.
And it was so stupid.
Yeah.
Like how she.
I mean,
like,
we knew from the preview that she was gonna die.
we did. They definitely gave that away.
Yeah. And it was still like,
But I mean, didn't it feel like because she was my friend? They didn't feel like friends.
no, they didn't.
It just
Well, that's
everything.
because they keep skipping 10 decades. And we got to remember, Cyclops, Nightcrawler, and Jean Grey were introduced in the last movie. And they weren't even really used until the third act of the last movie.
That and I do not like that guy who plays Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
It to me, it just doesn't. It just didn't. I just honestly, I feel like everyone in this movie outside of Michael Fassbender does not fit.
And
And the Beast, I like the guy as the Beast.
James McAvoy is good, but then like what they did with his character wasn't good. I don't think he had anything to work with.
No, yeah, they definitely ruined Professor X in this, and it's like I think we brought it up before. It's talking about like they're trying to Professor X pretty much suppressed the memory that she killed her mother.
Yeah.
And so
and that her father gave her
and that her father gave her up. So basically he put in her mind that both her parents were dead and he took her in, which was like half true. Her father gave her up because he couldn't live with the fact that his daughter had killed her mother.
Yeah.
And so like that was the thing. And they was like, what did you do, Charles? This is all your fault. Mystique would not be dead. And I'm like, that is not true.
Yeah, because either way, it's because she got the Phoenix Force.
Yeah, she would have got the Phoenix Force. She would have been out of control. If she didn't kill Mystique, she would have killed someone else.
Yeah. Now, was it morally wrong for him to suppress those memories? Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, it's probably better to let her lash out when she was younger and then grow and get over it.
How old was she? Like 8?
Something like that.
She would have got over it.
Yeah, and then she'll get over it and she'll be fine. But since he suppressed it, they're saying that it's all coming out now. But it was like was it wrong? Yes. Was it the cause of what was happening? No.
No, but they really wanted you to make that his fault.
Yeah, like with Beast being angry at Charles, I was like, this doesn't even feel right.
No,
it didn't even feel like it didn't feel right. Like I didn't see the connection, the stretch that they were making.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and then like everything else, it was just like you spend half the movie chasing her, and then after that, it's like, okay, well, we're not gonna chase her anymore. You can be on our side and go help us win.
And then let's talk about the government and how they were all cool with mutants, and then 2 police cars get crushed, and then all of a sudden internment camps.
Like, no one died. Like literally, no one died.
I think they did insinuate that somebody died.
They insinuated it. I ain't seen nobody die in that scene.
But even so, like it's like, okay, 2 people died. Mutant internment camps.
Yeah, it was so extreme and just such especially when like the X-Men created this goodwill. So now you see one bad mutant, and now you're like, all mutants are bad. That doesn't make any sense.
I think they were trying to show like how on a razor's edge the relationship was, but they didn't execute it correctly. They didn't execute it well.
Now, after the fight in the middle of the street in New York, that could have been a thing. Because then that was everybody tripping, destroyed the city block, messed up the New York subway system. You know how long it's gonna take to rebuild that? Then you might want to, enslave all the mutants.
So that was
that was random destruction.
Yeah,
and half of it could have been avoided.
Yeah, and it took them a half an hour to swim across the 4-lane road there for some reason.
Yeah, you would think, like, okay, so we're on good terms. Then the thing happens with Phoenix. And then you would think the government would be like, okay, what's going on?
Right.
That's kind of generally your first move. Let's figure out what's going on.
Right. You call Professor X for a sit down, like, yo, get your people, check them. Instead, it's like, the president's not talking to you anymore. This line is no longer active. Click. Like, okay.
It was random and stupid. it was very stupid. I'm like, you just called these people to go out in space, and then 2 police cars get flipped.
Right. Yeah, it didn't make any sense.
I want to talk about the second act fight and the third act fight too, but
all right, the second act fight, is that at the house?
Is that? Oh, I was thinking the street.
In front of the house?
In front of the building.
It was not a house?
Oh, I guess that's a house. When you say house, I'm thinking Jean's great house.
No, the house that alien people were living in.
Oh, okay.
That is a house, isn't it?
Yeah. So first, the alien people.
So random. They land on Earth, kill a bunch of people at a party.
And shapeshift into them?
Yes, for some reason.
Which makes me think that they were going to use the scroll and then backed out of using the scroll.
There's a lot of... I feel like that's a thing aliens do. I feel like that's
they just
power.
shapeshift.
Yes.
Yeah, that is a thing.
That's a thing.
Okay. But they at first they say their motivation was to get the Phoenix Force to bring their race back because the Phoenix Force destroyed their planet. But then later on in the movie, she said she was gonna get the Phoenix Force and destroy the Earth. I don't know.
I thought they were gonna make the Earth their new home, so you got to destroy all the people on it.
They have to kill the people on it first.
Yeah, that was my impression.
Then use the Phoenix Force to basically redo everything.
The thing was, I didn't care. I mean, she's almost as bad as Malekith. And if you don't know who that is, then that's why. Because I guess it's the same type of reasoning for those two characters. Malekith's the bad guy in Thor the Dark World.
You're right, yeah.
And I don't know. It was just, you didn't care. You know, like, okay, you want the Phoenix Force. Okay. But we were focused on so many other storylines anyway.
Yeah, they felt pretty random, and also I'm definitely jumping ahead to the end of the movie. Somehow I just don't feel like the Phoenix was the only way to beat them.
No.
You know, because it's like that last fight scene after the train, she single-handedly beats everyone, and while everyone else is just sitting around like, oh, this is great.
It wasn't the only way. Well, first of all, why are these aliens bulletproof? And not bulletproof, like the bullets go through them and somehow they're still alive. What's going on?
I don't know. It was all just very strange to me.
I would say the train fight scene was like the best scene in the movie.
It was, for sure.
Especially with
Again, low bar. Again, low bar.
Still.
Especially with Magneto, man. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When I at that scene, I was like, man, this is a waste of Michael Fassbender.
Dude, that scene was sweet.
Yeah, the
like
scene
when
was
he
sweet.
threw the metal at the dude and it went through his hand and then he bent it.
Yeah.
And then closed it. Oh, yeah. Or when he crushed all of them in the train and flipped the train.
Yeah.
That was a sweet scene.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
a sweet scene.
Pretty much any scene with Magneto was good in this movie.
Yeah, he was
it
pretty
just
good.
wasn't a lot of scenes with Magneto.
Yeah, he was pretty good there.
Yeah.
And can I say this, which I find very confusing? That they are including Deadpool in these film series
Because he's a part of it.
Because he is.
Okay.
Remember, he keeps going back to the X Mansion, even though none of the X-Men are there.
They were in the second one, but they pretended they weren't there.
Yeah.
Because that was actually a really good scene. Yeah, Deadpool he's a mutant and he's a part of this universe.
Yep.
Even though none of their movies line up
Nope.
at all.
No, that's my point. Like, it don't even
I feel
line
like they
up.
could have used Colossus. They keep bringing him in Deadpool. He's living in the X Mansion.
That they cast the same guy to play Colossus, but none of his shoots made the movie.
Maybe they should have.
Yeah, Storm was underused here.
I feel like Storm was, Quicksilver was. Well, because, Professor X is like, I'm only going to take Cyclops and Nightcrawler with me.
And usually
You already saw her destroy a city block. Like, why would you only take 2 of your team members?
Yeah, and then Quicksilver, I think they took him out, after the first fight with Phoenix.
Yeah.
Because he fell and he was injured or something. And I was like, so I guess they just didn't want to use that.
I don't know. I thought
because he wasn't in the last fight, was he?
No, he wasn't. No, because like I said, when they went to go find her, he only took 2 people with them.
So stupid.
Yes.
Yeah. And Quicksilver, I think he was out for the game though.
Yeah. Well, his scenes weren't even that great. Usually his scenes are awesome, pretty
Are
good.
they?
Yeah.
I've never liked him.
You
in these movies.
didn't like him, really?
No, and then did she seriously
liked
call
it.
him Peter and not Pietro? Did y'all notice that?
Oh, I didn't notice that, no.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, is that his name though?
Okay. I mean, that's a nitpick, though.
It is. I don't care. I noticed.
Before we get to the full third act, the scene on the street, that fight. First of all, Storm, you can't be a guy with stretchy hair. I don't understand what was going on there.
What's the deal with the weave?
I don't know. I don't know who that is. But he's fighting with his hair, and Storm gets throwing ice cubes at him.
Yeah, you do that. And then, I'm sorry, is it just me, or does Storm's lightning look very, like, I could have made this myself on my home computer? Her lightning CGI?
I don't know. I didn't notice that. But,
it did not look good to me.
Yeah, so that was pretty bad. And, okay, Magneto rips up the subway. I wanted to talk about this. Why?
Yes.
What was the reason?
I don't know.
He wanted to smash a hole in the building. There was a bus on the street.
He could have did it with the door.
Yeah, he could have just blew the door in because he's got magnetic powers.
Or he could just took the walls down because there's rebar in it, right?
So why?
I don't know.
Did this dude? And then he was struggling to bring the subway up. This is the man that lifted an entire stadium 2 movies ago. I am so
Maybe
confused.
because the subway was moving at an X amount of speed, and force times acceleration and all of that. Yep.
Oh, you guys can't hear the look I'm giving. It's not a good look. So it was just dumb.
It was no reason.
And then, like, Cyclops fired at Magneto twice and missed. His powers come from his eyes. He just has to
Maybe
look.
he wasn't really looking.
He wasn't looking. He was looking to the side.
Always had those little visors on and not sunglasses. I'm like, you look stupid.
Yeah, that's true. He was always wearing his visors.
I don't know why that was such a pet peeve of mine.
That's another nitpick. I didn't even notice that.
No, it's a huge nitpick.
Okay.
I'm like, but where are your glasses? Okay.
Yeah, and then, like, it's out of Beast's character. Because so after Mystique dies, he's just like he's going to kill Phoenix. Like, this is a person that's supposed to be your friend, and regardless, that's way out of Beast's character
Beast
to
is
just be
always the non-violent one.
Yeah.
Always.
Yes. So I'm like, so he joins forces with Magneto to kill Phoenix. Magneto, okay, I guess it's not that much of a stretch for him to just play, all right, I'm a killer. That's fine.
Yeah.
And then what was up with the other telepath lady? The weird one with the knife?
Her name is Selene.
Oh, she's part of Hellfire Club. She was in the book I read.
Oh, okay.
She's freaky. She's really powerful. They did not do her justice.
I was about to say, because I didn't know who she was.
She's really powerful.
Oh yeah, no, they screwed that up.
Yeah, she's up there with Emma Frost and Professor X and Jean.
Right. Remember the book about the legacy virus? She's in that big time.
Oh wow, I didn't remember that.
Yeah, no, she's freaky.
Okay.
Yeah, they didn't do that well at all.
Yeah, they didn't use her at all.
Yeah.
Not well.
Yeah, and I'm not finding anything on dude with the hair.
Okay, the guy.
He was made up.
Yep.
All right, the third scene was okay. The third act fight on the train. That was cool, and she embraced her Phoenix power. At the end, when they did that, you remember the original Hawk thing where his father was trying to absorb his Hawk power, and he was like, "Oh, if you want it, take it all." So Phoenix was kind of doing that same thing.
Yeah.
With this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought of when I was watching it.
I didn't think of that, but you know what I thought of is like, okay, she's making this sacrifice for the team or whatever, and I hate going back to this, but I will. Comparing it to Endgame, Tony Stark sacrificed his life to save everyone. That felt so much more real, The Black Widow sacrificing her life felt more real. Like the Phoenix is just like, okay, you're gone now. Like it's just like that sacrifice she meant that was supposed to be like, oh, she did this to save us all, blah blah blah. It just felt flat to me.
The whole thing was flat because we didn't care about these characters.
No.
We did.
Which is disappointing because even though, okay, they jumped decades, after 12 movies.
Yeah. We should. Yeah. Well, it's been rebooted but not rebooted too many times.
Well, let's skip the first 3 then. Or whatever. Okay, let's say only just the X-Men ones. That's still, 5 movies?
Yeah.
I feel like that's enough to make me care, isn't it?
You should. But then again, like I said, they only introduced half this cast in the last movie.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like they introduce a ton of people in each movie.
Yeah.
When it's like, I don't know.
And it's not hard to do with one movie, though. First Class, we cared about the characters in that movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I felt First Class.
Darwin died. And
when
we
they
were like,
all died at the house?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was messed up.
Yeah. So, like, it's about how you present it. It's not always about having more than one movie. You just got to know how to build these characters, and they didn't do it.
No, they did not.
They didn't do it at all. Well, in the end, Charles and Magneto become friends again.
Yeah.
And for some reason, Phoenix is flying over Paris.
Because she knows she's not dead, because no one ever dies.
Yeah.
So that's not surprising. Charles retires. I guess it was supposed to be like, for the end of a franchise, it was very blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh God. When the Nolan Batman series ended, you felt like, oh, Batman's finally happy. He finally gets the girl.
It was satisfying.
Alfred's. It was so satisfying, and this one just wasn't.
It wasn't. Well, those are our thoughts on Dark Phoenix.
A lot of thoughts.
Wasn't good. Let's talk box office. So, weekend's not over yet, but Dark Phoenix is tracking to make $34 million for first weekend domestically.
That is bad for a blockbuster movie.
Blockbuster movie cost them $200 million to make.
Well, internationally, I think it's up to $100 million, isn't it?
170 prediction for international. Still.
Yeah.
Still not good.
Yeah.
So
that's bad.
$34 million. No one, and like we all said, like we went to 3 different theaters, different times. No one was in the theaters watching this movie.
No.
No one was there. So this is pretty bad, which is probably why Disney just get it out and get it over with. A couple of information for this. It's come out that some of the actors said the movie was being rewritten daily while they were shooting it.
What?
Yeah. So,
that's insane. The guy who wrote it was also, I think the guy who wrote it and directed it.
Yeah, he wrote it and directed it.
He also co-wrote, whatever, bad English, The Last Stand.
Oh, he did co-write. Yes. So he just wanted to do Dark Phoenix?
I don't know, but I thought it was very interesting. You get the same guy who screwed it up the first time.
It's Simon Kinberg, right?
Yeah, that sounds familiar, yes.
Yeah. Horrible. Mm-hmm. So the movie doesn't look like it's doing good, and you usually drop off after your first weekend. So this is not.
I think it's going to be a huge drop off because it's not good.
Yeah, and the audience kind of agrees that they don't like it either.
Yeah.
Godzilla, 68% drop.
Huge.
That's a huge drop.
Yeah.
For box office. Like, man.
So I think that's another one when the movie's not good.
It shows.
Yeah.
It shows in the box office.
Yeah.
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 So a lot of the audience were giving it positive reviews. That still didn't help, apparently. So, like, the critic reviews were bad. Positive audience reviews. And sometimes that does make the difference because critics and audience, they are different. Critic is looking at the movie objectively as what they think movies should be. Mm-hmm. And the audience is generally because it's something they enjoy.
Right.
And I think that's usually where you see that disparity. And the audience seemed to like Godzilla. But again, last week I said it was, from reading it, it was the original Godzilla fans that liked it. I
find, because like I read some of the audience reviews on Phoenix before I saw it, and I always see like the initial reviews are always like, this movie was great, it's fantastic, and then I'm like, I don't know, movie I was watching.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
It wasn't good. So I think those first reviews is like, you get all the awesome, but then like the majority of people's like, nah bruh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it seems like, and movies are usually top heavy nowadays. Everybody goes out to see the movie when it comes out.
Yeah.
But you generally only want to see around a 50% drop. 68% is huge. Like, that's bad. That's really bad. So I don't know what that's going to mean for Godzilla versus Kong. But people are thinking it may get pushed back now.
But that might be a better movie, though. I can imagine that being a better movie.
It could be. It could be a better movie because you're only gonna. Well, hopefully you're only gonna have those two. Yeah, it just depends on the story you put together.
So I didn't know Ice Cube's son was in Godzilla.
Yeah.
Was he a main character?
No. A side
a side character.
Side character.
It was just an interesting thing I discovered today.
Yeah. He had some okay lines in there.
I didn't know all those actors was in the Kong Skull Island movie.
Who was
in Kong Skull Island?
Samuel L. Jackson, Brie Larson, Tom Hiddleston.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't know they were in there?
Yeah, everybody was in it.
That wasn't a bad movie.
It was okay. It was
never
like
watched it until last weekend.
It was it's entertaining. It wasn't good, but it was entertaining enough for okay.
Well, and that's kind of what you expect. I always go back to Fast and Furious. Kind of like those type of movies. It's kind of what you expect. It's a monster movie. We want to see some monster fights.
Yeah. Oh, since you brought Fast and Furious up, John Cena is going to join that, and I think The Rock is out.
Okay. Well, I guess
after this movie, the ninth one.
I think he's in the ninth one.
Oh, and he's going to replace The Rock.
I think so.
Yeah.
I didn't really read it because I don't like John Cena, but I guess he's trying to make his Rock move. I ain't mad at it.
Well, with that, we might as well go into the news.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
So,
I thought we were already in the news. My bad.
We were talking about box office. But that was it for the box office. So, and now the news.
Okay.
So, Deborah, you mentioned John Cena is going to be in Fast and Furious 9, allegedly.
I can't remember if it was he's going to be in 9 or show up after the 9th one.
I did think I saw something like that when I was looking it up. So, okay, that's a good thing. Here's some pretty good news. The X-Men animated series creative team is looking to Disney to reprise the show.
Yes. I know I'm overly grown about this.
They're going to redo it?
No, boy, no.
Reprise means bring the show back.
Get a dictionary.
And this is the same team that made it in the 90s.
Yeah.
So they're looking to bring it back. So now that you have the streaming service and the rights to X-Men is at Disney now,
I'm down for that.
Be really good. I will be completely down for that.
I'm down for the old one showing up.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah, I was going to say, just to hear the music, man. Dun, dun, dun. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
I want to hear if they put an X-Men character in the MCU. I just want to hear a version of that song somehow. I don't care what you do, just do it. Just put it lightly in the background. You know how they do the music.
Did they do that in a movie? It was someone's ringtone or something. It might have been. It was definitely
Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Iron Man, the ringtone was the Iron Man theme song from the cartoon.
See?
Yeah.
See, I want that. That would be, somebody's phone's ring and it's like, see, please.
Yeah.
Please do that. I will give that movie 100%. It's excellent. I don't care what else is in the movie. I'll just be so happy. I want to see that so bad. Next bit of news, Tom Holland, since we were talking about Marvel actors, he is set to play in the Uncharted movie as with Drake something?
Nathan Drake.
Nathan Drake? Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, so Tom Holland's going to be Nathan Drake.
Drake?
Whoa, dude.
Excuse me. Can't talk or whatever. His name's whatever I said it was.
Yep.
Uncharted it should be coming out 2020 in December.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up, dude. I can't wait for that.
I'm interested in it. I enjoyed the video game series. I need to finish the video game series.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a great series. It's like, a male Laura Croft.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, that's Laura Crawfish. Yeah.
That's like the simplest. I mean, he's different, but that's like the simplest way for me to describe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Laura Crawfish.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. A few more rumors. Allegedly, Fantastic Four is going to be released in 2022.
Are they starting over? Or is just going to be like a movie with the Fantastic Four in it?
They should do it like how they did Spider-Man. We don't need an origin story.
I
or nothing
agree.
Like that.
I think Marvel's moving away from origins.
Well, there's no need for it anymore.
Yeah.
I agree. Oh, since we're talking about the MCU, can I bring up my Phase 4 rumor?
Sure thing.
Yeah.
That didn't sound like a confident, sure thing.
What's your Phase 4 rumor?
So,
yes, go ahead.
The rumor is that Korath will be the villain in Phase 4. He's going to make his debut in Captain Marvel 2.
Korath?
I think that's what that guy's name is.
Who?
Boy, I don't know. He's supposed to be someone powerful.
Okay.
He's going to make his
Name
debut.
sound familiar.
Yeah, he's going to make his debut. It may be Korath with a V or an R and a T. I don't know. In Captain Marvel 2, Captain Marvel 2 will take place between 1990 and 2000 and something.
So it's going to be a throwback for Captain Marvel 2.
Yes. And
all right, so that's going to be in space, though.
Yeah, and so he will be powerful in that movie, but as the time goes on, he's going to gain more power. And
that sounds good.
Okay.
And then he will be the villain that spans Phase 4.
Okay.
Rumor has it.
Okay.
Take MCU rumors with a grain of salt, though.
Grain of salt. Yeah, we never know. They're real secretive.
Yes, that could be not true at all.
Even the Fantastic Four thing,
right?
You know, because Kevin Feige did come out and say, I think at least the X-Men is not for 5 years.
Yeah.
Which I agree. No X-Men movie. I can see why it's hard, but start introducing some characters.
See, that's why I feel like. You a lie. He's not about to wait 5 years to introduce some mutants. He's gonna slide in a couple of mutants in there.
We know for sure Deadpool's coming before 5 years. There's no way you put 5 years.
So we're not gonna get the X-Men maybe for 5 years, but we definitely gonna get like Deadpool or I'm just gonna say Storm or somebody like that.
Yeah,
I really wanted to be Gambit.
Throw Gambit in there.
I really wanted to be Gambit.
I heard that they've been casting for Wolverine.
Really?
Well,
I thought they would have left.
I thought they were gonna wait on that. I mean, I don't know. I love Wolverine, so I'm down with it. I thought they might want to wait.
They've been casting for, and the guy that they were going to use, I was like, he would be a decent Wolverine. I forgot what show he plays on now. Let me see if I can come across it.
Okay, but yeah, you know, MCU rumors are.
We'll see what happens, but we should hear something come Comic-Con that's coming up in few weeks, I think.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then I'm pretty sure they'll have some sort of trailer no one knew they had.
Yeah. All right. So while Derek's looking that up, let's talk about some Netflix news. They got some stuff coming out. And they've been working with the Jurassic World team. So they're going to be coming out with an animated series called Camp Cretaceous. May be good.
Yes, it's coming out in 2020. It is set in the world of Jurassic World. So when all that crazy stuff go down, they get stranded on an island. So, I mean, it sounds interesting enough. If it's Jurassic Park slapped on it, I will definitely watch it. I'm not going to lie. I am a sucker for Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park is cool.
I kind of wanted to be like Jurassic Park mixed with Total Drama Island.
Oh.
Right? Like, how entertaining would that be?
That would be so entertaining. Total Drama is way more entertaining than it should be.
Right.
But it is extremely entertaining.
So if it was something like that, I will be down for that for real.
Yeah.
And that also brings up, like, so I guess Netflix has a contract with DreamWorks.
Okay.
Where they make animated series off of their movies. That's how I think there's an animated Boss Baby show out there. So that also means that there's a Fast and the Furious animated series coming out.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I'm guessing this is not for kids, or maybe kind of for kids.
Probably. It was animated. You can make it for kids.
I don't know. I don't know. It seems, look, I'll check out the first episodes if it's interesting.
I mean, that seems interesting enough. That's something I can check out. I'll check out both of these.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Last bit, or did you find out?
It was. Yeah, Charlie Hunnam.
Who?
What's he in?
He was in Son of Anarchy.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, they saying that he's rumored to be the next Wolverine. Like he's the number one running to be the next Wolverine.
I just don't know if they're gonna do Wolverine.
I think it's too soon to do it since Hugh Jackman just nailed it.
And you gave him such a great send off with Logan.
Right.
Yeah, but I think with Shield and stuff, like Wolverine has a connection with that.
Yeah, I mean they can definitely do it because he has a connection with everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I mean I wouldn't be mad at it, and I'm sure I have such faith in Marvel that if they do introduce him earlier than we think they will, it'll be done well, and we won't be spending our time comparing him to Hugh Jackman.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be in a movie that we least likely think that it be.
Spider-Man. We can't put it. We're putting Spider-Man in everything.
Wolverine is always just because Spider-Man teams up with everybody.
That's true.
Yeah,
everybody.
Yeah.
So Spider-Man, Daredevil. You know.
Yeah.
All right, that'll be interesting. That'll be pretty interesting. Last bit of news that I had was something that was in between. Finally, we always say comics and movies and stuff in between.
Okay, all right.
So this is a video game system that's supposed to be coming out. Google is making it. It's called Stadia. And I thought it was interesting because it's basically not a console. So they're going to be streaming games to people. So let's say you're playing a game and super high graphics, super high quality. You need either a high-end console or a good, not even a good computer. The computers to play these games are really expensive, like thousands. So instead of you having to get that, basically the game is all of the functions and stuff is performed on Google servers and it's just streamed over to your TV. So all you need is a Chromecast Ultra or I think a Google Pixel, and they said they were going with other cell phones too, or a computer that gets Chrome. And you can
stream these games.
You can stream the games over to any of your screens. Which it seems, at first I was like, well, that would use a lot of data, but they're saying you can play at the highest level with only 35 megabits per second download speed. So a lot of people have that. I know Deborah doesn't.
I do not.
But speeds have been going up. Like it's normal now for people to have over 100. So,
Yeah. I do know that the speed has been going up. Don't know what it means, but I do know that.
Yeah, so with it being only 35 for you to get the highest quality, that's pretty good. It just seemed real interesting to me. I think this is kind of bringing that it's innovative. I don't know if it's going to work out for Google, but the idea is innovative because it kind of changes the whole market when you think about it.
And not having to buy a console.
Yeah.
I think so, but only if... Would it mean that there's less exclusive games? You know how, like, Xbox has Halo, right? The PlayStation has, let's say, Uncharted. PlayStation got more than Uncharted, but that's what I'm thinking of now.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you not get that? Or will both companies just say, hey, or do they get more games that says, you can only play Spider-Man on PlayStation?
Yeah, you probably, getting people locking down more exclusives so that you can't get them on the streaming service. Mm-hmm. That might, if they want people to continue buying consoles, they're probably going to have to do that or just move over to streaming themselves.
Well, PlayStation already kind of has a streaming thing, though.
But you still need the console for it, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Not anymore.
For the PlayStation?
No, I mean for the games, yes, but...
Well, that's the thing. Like, with the Google, with Stadia, you don't need anything. And, like, they got Tom Clancy's Division 2 is coming out on it. And then there's a Marvel Avengers game coming out on Xbox and PlayStation. And it's coming out on the Stadia system.
Oh, that's the game I wanted to check out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything. I think they're going to be announcing everything at Comic-Con or E3 is...
I think they're announcing it at E3.
Okay, so E3 is going on. So we'll probably hear about that soon. But just think about that. People that want to play a Marvel's Avengers game and they don't have the money to buy $400 console, $300 console, they can get Stadia $10 a month, and they're good.
But you also got to buy the game.
Probably. I'm going to guess you still have to pay for the game,
That sounds expensive to me.
Well, what, $10 a month?
$10 a month, plus I'm already paying $60 for the game.
Okay.
I feel like, I mean, I guess it's cheaper since you're breaking up the cost. You don't have to come up with $400 off the bat.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, for people that can't drop it altogether, I think it does end up being more like, let's say over 4 years, you know, that's $480 that you spent. You end up paying more than you would have for a console. But I guess another positive thing was, and I don't know if Google's going to do it this way, but in a sense, while PlayStation's coming out with PlayStation 5, and then we're going to have to drop another $400 or $500 for their new console. With Google, if they upgrade their system, you essentially shouldn't have to buy anything else. It should just upgrade.
Okay.
You know, because none of their customers have the hardware. The hardware is all
on Google
at
system.
Google. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's the thing. Now, I mean, for a lot of people, like myself, I have a PS4 already. I don't have a reason to get this. Because if a game comes out, I've already paid for a PS4.
So it's for the next generation of gamers.
It looks like it.
Okay.
And I mean, maybe people will do this instead of getting the PS5 or something like that. We'll see how they stand. I don't know how they're going to stand in the console market, but I think at least it's probably going to shake things up a bit. So it might be interesting to see how it turns out.
It seems interesting.
Yeah. I personally think this will work really well with VR.
Right.
So... Because best VR is on computer.
But you'll still need... Oh, but you won't need the hardware, I guess. But you'll still need, like...
You need a headset and stuff, but you don't have
thingies.
to buy an expensive computer to get things to run right.
Right.
And that's the idea. So they didn't mention any VR, but if they move on to that could really help them break into the market. But yeah, so that was my news for today. Anybody else had any extra news?
I did not.
Nope. All right.
Well, I did. I mean, it was about the E3.
Oh.
I guess they're supposed to be dropping a new Battletoads.
Battletoads?
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know for what system, but yeah, a new Battletoads supposed to be dropping, or it might be across all formats.
Okay.
But I did see that.
That is interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Battletoads.
We already knew about the Marvel Alliance 3.
Yeah, that's on Switch.
Supposed to be dropping for the Switch. Also, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate supposed to be dropping for the Switch as well.
What, another Smash Brothers?
Yep, another Smash Brothers.
Didn't the last one just come out like last year?
Don't ask me.
I have no idea. You would know better than that. And they're supposed to be dropping a new Call of Duty for all the Call of Duty fans.
I'm losing track of the Call of Duty, so I don't know what's what.
Yeah. So that's all the news I had, but that was from the announcements of E3 that's currently about to come up this week.
All right. We'll get some more stuff from E3 as it goes on.
Yeah, because it starts June 11th, I believe. So that this Tuesday.
Okay. Cool. With that, we move on to what you doing. So let's start with Derek. What you doing?
Nothing much. I'm actually watching. I think I may mention a few episodes back that I was starting the Arrow series in the Arrowverse on the CW, and now I'm starting the Flash. And Flash is way much better than the Arrow. I don't know why I never watched the Flash before.
Flash is well, Arrow started off better than the Flash.
Yeah.
As it went on, Flash did get better.
Yeah, I would say, Arrow started out really, really good. But it's just like now, it's just like, all right, y'all have no reason to continue to be angry. It's just everybody's just mad all the time, and you failed this city. This is my city. This is what I need to do. And it's just like, bruh, come on.
I think Arrow stopped being good after Slade.
Yep, season 2. Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, but it's like, I know I'm coming late to these shows, but it's just like running out of stuff to watch on Netflix that interests me.
Yeah, but Flash is doing the same thing where it's like each season kind of just repeats itself. So I stopped watching the Flash too. But you let me know how far you get.
Yeah, I mean, I'm almost done with, and I started it last Saturday.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting. I'm liking it. I know that leads to like other shows like Legends of Tomorrow, and then they included Supergirl.
Supergirl's never been good.
Oh, I seen Supergirl season 1 when it was on CBS, and it was horrible.
CBS one was horrible. WB did make it better, or CW made it better,
Right.
but it was just
it's still bad.
I couldn't even get to the first episode of Supergirl.
yeah.
Like, I was just like, nope.
Legends of Tomorrow is kind of stupid but funny, at least for the first 2 seasons, and then
it tails off.
Yeah. But now you got Batwoman coming up.
Right, that's what I was like. I was like, it's leading to Batwoman, so I was like, me just catching up on these shows. So I am watching The Flash.
Well, I always watch the crossovers.
I did like the crossovers. The first set. Because I guess it would be season 3 of Arrow, season 5. And I would say it was about 3 episodes where it was a crossover so far already. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
The crossover is pretty good.
Yeah, I like The Flash, though. Honestly, I took a better liking to it watching the first season than I did watching the first season of Arrow.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, then.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing this week, watching The Flash.
All right.
I'm late.
All right, Deborah, what you doing?
So I started playing chess again.
Okay.
And I know, like, I taught you how to play chess. Mm-hmm. So I have a friend, and he plays online. He's like, "Oh, you should, if you play, you should go play me." And I'm like, "Yeah, cool." And then I realized I don't remember how to play chess. Like, I remember like the moves, but like all strategy and things that make sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have no clue anymore.
Okay.
And he threw me off because, like, his third move he moved his queen, and I'm like, why did you do that? So now I'm all extra nervous, and
Did he castle it?
I don't even know what that means anymore.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. It's been a long time since I played chess, and I feel like I should have never told him that I played chess, because now he challenged me to a duel, and I'm going to lose.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so that's my thing. Hopefully, he didn't come up with the next move that I made, so maybe he forgot, and then we don't have to finish this game.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
maybe he's just buying his time.
It could be, or he could just be talking about me like she's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I was watching this guy on YouTube. He put out a pitch for the next Ant-Man movie, and it was so good that I was like, wow, you should actually be a screenwriter.
Right.
He's called Nando V Movies on YouTube.
Okay.
And his pitch was to introduce the third Ant-Man.
Who's that?
Forget Scott O'Grady? Not Scott O'Grady. Something O'Grady.
That sounds like a horrible superhero name.
I can find out for you.
Can't be Scott, because Scott Lang is...
Scott Lang is Scott, so it's not Scott. But he's the irredeemable Ant-Man.
Who?
There was a comic run called The Irredeemable Ant-Man. There was a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent that was Ant-Man.
Okay.
And he's like a horrible person. So his pitch was to start it during the Winter Soldier when the Triskeleton's going down, but you're focusing on this S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, and then you hear Captain America's announcement, and, instead of fighting, this guy goes on the run because he's a kind of a dishonorable person. Mm-hmm. Not a bad guy, but just not...
Not a good guy?
Yeah. Okay. And
it's Eric. His name is Eric O'Grady.
Eric O'Grady. Yeah, so, and, he runs, and you can kind of see parts of Winter Soldier happening outside of the window. You can see Falcon flying by, all that good stuff. And he gets the Ant-Man suit, and, so he has it since then, and that sets him up. And then he also wanted to go with AIM, which was in Iron Man 3. But, of course, they were headed up by Aldous Killian then. But just because Killian died didn't mean that AIM did.
True.
Sure.
And one of the scientists there, he gave them an idea of he wanted to make people smarter by, now this sounds silly, but when you see how it turns out, it's really good. He wanted to make them smaller by shrinking down, I guess, the molecules in the brain, so the brain has more room to expand, so people don't have super big head, which sounds really silly. And Killian used what he showed him to figure out how to use extremists. But the same idea, the guy wants to figure out how to become smarter. So they continue to aim think tank, and he comes up with something, injects himself with it. It goes wrong. His head does get bigger, and he becomes confined to a chair, and these machines and stuff hooked up to him.
He becomes Murdoch?
Yeah, and he becomes MODOK.
Wow.
And I'm not explaining it because I can't give the whole screen, like his screenplay pitch, but the way he set it up to have Eric O'Grady and MODOK in there be set up as these antagonists, which at the end Eric would probably help the protagonist. It was just super good. I'm like, wait, this sounds like an amazing movie. Marvel, I hope you're listening to this.
It does sound good, though.
Seems interesting. Definitely different than, because I mean, now, like, I don't see where they would go with Ant-Man 3, since I like the Ant-Man movies just fine, but the villains have been very weak.
Yeah.
So I think this is...
It's also Ant-Man, though, so his villains are weak.
Well, Ant-Man's a stupid superhero. That doesn't mean you can't make good villains.
Yeah. And you know how...
They're using his actual villains, which... his actual villains are dumb.
And to fit the storyline, hold on, I gotta look this up, because MODOK stands for I think mechanical organism design only for killing or something like that.
Something ridiculous, yeah.
But to fit this
we'll have it for you in a minute.
Yeah, to fit this new scientist, he's saying do it mechanical organism design only for creating. Still MODOK, but it fits the new storyline that you put together. And I was like, you know what? I'm so down for that. So if you guys haven't noticed this, but check this guy out on YouTube, Nando V Movies, and see his pitch for Ant-Man and the Wasp 2 or Ant-Man 3 or whatever. Oh, and he said just because Ant-Man is a comedy, it should be titled Ant-Man and the Wasp and the Ant-Man.
There you go. I like it.
Because it's a silly title,
right.
But yeah, it makes sense. So Ant-Man and the Wasp and the Ant-Man.
I like it.
So I like it. So if you haven't, go check this guy out. Check out the video. We're not sponsored anything, but I thought this was a really good pitch. So, check it out. See what you think about it.
Yeah. In MODOK, the M can stand for mental, mobile, or mechanical. I had the word. I don't even know why. Anyway, mental organism designed only for killing.
Okay. I had it almost right.
Yeah.
So instead it'll be mental organism designed only for creating.
Okay.
Really good.
All right, definitely interesting, definitely different, but I kind of like it. I think it definitely make the Ant-Man movies more interesting than what they have been.
Yeah. So that would be cool. Probably never happened, but I'm like, man, Marvel, if you see this, please. This sounds amazing, but they probably have a plan already.
I'm sure.
So we'll see what happens. But with that, that's the end of the podcast. So with that, if you guys want to reach out to us, you can reach us at Facebook. That's facebook.com/3D Rivals. That's a number 3D Rivals. Or you can reach us on Gmail. It's 3drivals@gmail.com. And thank you guys very much for listening. We appreciate that. And we will catch you next time. Peace out.